I have been on the receiving end of a lot of dirty tricks, a lot of COINTELPRO, and also just a lot of jealousy across the board. And I've kind of figured out a lot of cowards just are jealous of the fact that they don't have the courage I have and aren't willing to get out there and bust their butts to really make change in the world. So a lot of the attacks against me are just from the mentally ill public. And in a way, those actually advertise who I am, and people just come to check out what all the hubbub's about and find out the real me, not the distortion. So in a way, that's a blessing. Every weapon formed against us ends up turning into a blessing, as long as that's in God's plan. And I don't ever pretend to pray and tell God what I want, or I just know I'm in God's hands, and I've tried to be the best person I can, and I know which side I'm on, and I know who I belong to, and that's just the end of it. A lot of people fighting tyranny in the New World Order get messed with, get picked on, get fiddled with, and blow up and go into a million pieces. Not me. It always makes me work harder. And I don't try to get up here and advertise the things we've gone through, the incredible dirty tricks, just things that are really even hard to believe to me, and I've experienced it. And there's certainly no doubt in my mind we wouldn't be on air. I probably wouldn't even be alive, or I'd be in prison set up if it wasn't for the fact that God's definitely got some angels protecting me. And because of your prayers out there. But I've always warned people when they come to work here, and I've always warned the public that when you get involved in this, you need to know this is real. This isn't a game. We're going up against people who don't have any conscience, who are completely ruthless, and who actually enjoy hurting innocent people. And you need to be aware of that. They see life as cheap. In fact, they see life, human life, as actually dirt, as something bad, as something with negative value, not just cheap. But living, truly living, is all about standing up for humanity, going through the fire, making it through on the other side, certainly with some scars, and developing as a human being and learning what life is really all about. Service, duty, being honorable, telling the truth, not sinking to other people's level. And so I'm not going to spend much more time talking about all the dirty tricks we go through and the things we face, other than when we have the FBI show up, or we have the Secret Service show up, or I get Army intelligence guys blocking me in a parking lot and threatening me, or my family gets death threats, or a helicopter over my house, or a helicopter over my mother's house at 50 feet flipping her off and laughing at her. Or when my children get threatened, I just trust in God and move forward. There's a lot of other dirty tricks. But I'm not going to get specific about the new stuff that's going on, other than that it marks a new escalation in dirty tricks against me. And it's only going to give me energy. In fact, I've been really tired lately, working a lot of hours and a lot of interviews, trying to finish a book and a film by September, early September. In fact, the deadline's actually late August. And actually, this persecution always makes me focus, gives me wells of strength, helps me have an attitude adjustment, helps me not be worldly, helps me not be controlled by the flesh, and just gives me incredible reserves and founts of will. And it also reaffirms just how important our work is and confirms just how evil this elite is and this system is. And my only fear is if I get set up or I get destroyed, I don't want you to take that as a defeat. I want you to take that as a victory and realize how bad we're hurting them. And don't let that cow you. I want you to intensify everything you're doing, not redoubling, not 10%, not 100%, 1,000%. Because they can't get all of us. They can't demonize all of us. They can't kill all of us. They can't shut us all down. If they shut me up, who will take my place? All of you. So don't get involved in the COINTELPRO. Don't get involved in the petty flesh things they do, getting us all debating like we're all in a race car race with each other. We're in a race against the New World Order together. And so all over the country with Von Brunn, that's clearly a setup. He's been in federal custody for 6 years. It's now even come out in the National Press Club and in mainstream articles that Von Brunn was tied into special forces and some weird white supremacist network in the military and police. The Southern Poverty Law Center, ADL, have been caught running white supremacist compounds over and over again, especially the Southern Poverty Law Center, Elohim City, Oklahoma City. It's come out in lawsuits. Here's the FBI. They've been forced and ordered in Salt Lake City to release documents proving that. Terry Nichols has signed affidavits that McVeigh was government black op, high-level, above top secret infiltrator and provocateur. Look how they burned him. Just like they burned the torturers at some of the torture camps and used Patriot Act to shut them up and send them to prison. Even though the memos say they were ordered by Bush and Gonzales to do it, when they started burning you as a patsy, you said, hey, I was ordered to and release the document, and they sent your butt to prison for life using Patriot Act, didn't they? You better think about that, all of you, when they're trying to recruit all these CIA radio and TV ads, recruiting all these stupid college students as they triple their amount of domestic HUMET. I mean, they're spooking the entire country. They are turning us. The mainstream news has reported we have a higher ratio now of spooks than East Germany had at its height under Marcus Wolf, who they, by the way, hired as a consultant in 2002, 2003. That's in the federal purchase orders. I didn't believe that when I saw it in the news. I went and looked up the congressional funding for it. Marcus Wolf set up what we're dealing with here. This isn't a game. And so, yes, the first name on their lips is me, Alex Jones. And that really made me have a gut check. And there's been a bunch of other stuff going on. Now we know what they're doing. As they're going out and contacting Patriot groups, 9/11 truth groups, student groups, with these quasi-militia truth groups, just like they did in the 90s, trying to demonize the Patriot movement. They infiltrated militias, tried to radicalize them, and they buried pipe bombs on their property. BATF was caught doing this, then taken to prison. What they're trying to do is have Patriot groups go out and then pose as me, use my name, do things like that. What they do is they bust somebody and then say, if you go out and affiliate yourself with Alex Jones and then say racist things and do this, this, and that, and do other even more horrid things, then later we're going to stage a bust to anybody you get into your group, and then we're going to try to tie that in with Alex Jones. And I've been told this now by two sources I know, and then other sources have been sending us documentation and even links to government files. A lot of this comes out of the South, where the Southern Poverty Law Center is really in. They've got a lot of power. Oklahoma, Arkansas, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina. And I've been sent, even back in the late 90s, I've been sent later declassified documents and documents released in court where my emails are being read. And so what we've done is we just put out the news, make the films, kind of isolate ourselves from everybody else. Because, I mean, I can be in an event signing videos, and I'll have 3 undercover cops walk over and say, Alex, let's go kill cops, let's blow something up. And I just say, come on, man. And he sometimes will even go, I'm just checking, come on, just doing my job. Because I'll follow a person out in the parking lot and go, what are you doing? You know I'm nonviolent. I've had them come up and say, let's attack the State Department when I'm at Bilderberg. You know, just openly, and you go, come on, man. Just doing my job. I mean, they'll even come right out and admit they're cops. I'm sick of it. You are criminals when you try to do this to me, when you try to set me up. And know this. We have systems where no matter what happens to me, you legally are going to be brought to justice, and your name is going to be brought out. And all of you, you know, just run your black ops against me, but in the end, you're only going to make me stronger. And that's why I want to read the 23rd Psalm out there and ask everybody to pray for us in this ministry. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not be in want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overfloweth. Surely goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. And that's the most important part there in the end. They can kill my body. They can kill my name. But God knows the truth about what's written on my heart. And I've discovered the horrible things they're planning to try to put on me. But I happily take this burden. And I cheerfully move forward. And I want you all to have that spirit of liberty in your hearts. And know that we will go through this dark storm. But as long as we put on the armor of righteousness, we will defeat the enemy. And remember, the enemy will always tell you you're not good and you're not righteous. He will attack your faith.